Hello, this is SJ Talks and Life coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. The bashing of single mothers is what I want to talk about, particularly the bashing of black single mothers. The bashing of black single mothers, that's what I want to talk about. Um, because it seems like black women are the only race of women, out of all the races of women, particularly here in America, black women are the only race of women that get bashed and degraded for being a single parent, being a single mother. I did the video talking about um, the woman that was bragging about the $3,000 in food stamps. If you hadn't had a chance to check that video out, check it out. The woman that's bragging about the $3,000 worth of food stamps, and she got 7 kids with 7 baby daddies. That one, she had. I did a reaction off of her TikTok. I mentioned in that video, and it was another video I mentioned about how I still get bashed for the one I did about what if God thought the way we thought, that one too. I mentioned that I still get bashed about being a single mother. Um, let me say this before I go forward. Anybody comes in my comment section making a crack about me being a single mother, I'm going to block you because I'm getting sick and tired of that. I'm getting sick. I'm over it. I'm over it. Okay. If you come in my comment section and you mention anything about me being a single mother, I'm going to block you. Okay. I'm going to block you. Okay. Because I have 2 grandchildren. I have 2 adult sons. One is just turned 24 this year. My oldest will be 35 in October. They're 10 years apart. Okay. So stop talking about me being a single mother. I have 2 adult sons, okay, and 2 grandchildren. Are you going to bash me for being a single grandparent too? You know what I'm saying? Stop it. Stop. If you come in my comment section anymore, I don't care who it is, and make any comment about me being a single mother, I am blocking you. I'm going to remove your comment. I'm going to block you. Don't come on my channel with that. Do not come in my comment section with that anymore. Don't. I don't want to hear it. Even if I'm talking about single mothers or mention single mothers in the video, do you can express your opinion, but do not specifically make a comment about me being a single mother. I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. That's what I'm saying. You can express your opinion, but do not make a comment about me being a single mother. I do not want to hear it, and I'm going to block you. That's a disclaimer. Leave it out of my comment section. Okay? I don't want to hear it. My sons are grown now. Okay? It's late for that conversation. Okay? It's a done deal. Okay? I raised my sons. I do not regret my sons. Some of us regret their kids. I don't. I don't regret my sons because every child is a blessing. I believe that there's a purpose for every child here on this earth. And I don't really, at the end of the day, I don't really believe in mistakes because God planned them. I might have not have planned them. The fathers might have not have planned them, but God planned them. He planned them. He planned them. Okay? Doesn't matter how your child gets here. Doesn't matter how a child gets here. They're a blessing. Children are a blessing at the end of the day. My 2 sons are a blessing. They're my 2 blessings. And I do not regret my sons. So you can call me a whore, a slut, a 304, or whatever. You ain't coming in my comment section with it. because I'm going to block you. Now, somebody made a comment about me being a single mother on somebody else's channel. It's different if it's on somebody else's channel. But if it's in my channel, don't come in my comment section with that. I don't want to hear any more cracks about me being a single mother. I don't want to hear it. Okay? I'm over it. And you really sound ignorant because, like I said, my two sons are adults now. You know, I have two grandchildren. You really sound ignorant. You sound stupid and you sound ignorant. Okay? Get over it. Okay? I'm not going to, like I said in that other video, I'm not going to make nobody, now I beat myself up for many years for being a single mother. But guess what? I have forgiven myself. I repented. God forgave me. He's given me grace. Okay? Because it was the fornication. It's what the children were a result of fornication. And it's really interesting because the same people want to make trash single mothers and make cracks about single mothers. Them are the same people that's laying it low and spreading it wide every night. And they ain't got one ring on their finger. Or they're committing adultery. Or they're committing homosexuality. Okay? Them same people that's talking trash. That's why, like I said, I made that comment when that man came in and said, it was on somebody else's video, I believe. Was it? Said I was a single mother. No. Yeah, it was. No, it was on mine. It was on my video. It was on my video. Oh, I didn't know you was a baby mama. It's hard to take you seriously now. I'm going to let that one slide. But any other comments moving forward, I'm going to block you. Okay? I said, are you a fornicator? Still haven't received the answer to that question yet. Because it is fornication. This is for you ignorant people in the back. It is fornication, okay? Sex outside of marriage. The child is a result, it's a direct result from committing fornication, okay? Having sex outside of marriage, okay? Okay? So some of these same people that want to trash single mothers, okay? They laying it low and spreading it wide, okay? And they're committing fornication, or they're committing adultery, or they're committing homosexuality. All those things in God's eyes are detestable. Okay? So sweep on your own back porch before you worry about somebody else's. Okay? Before you worry about somebody else's sins, you need to worry about your own. Okay? Because guess what? When judgment day comes, God ain't gonna ask you about SJ. He ain't gonna ask you about SJ. He gonna ask you about you. Okay, you gonna have to render account for your own stuff. See, I don't waste some time. I don't worry about what other people do. I don't care what other people do. I worry about what I do. Okay, I don't worry about what other people do because I can't die for other people. I can only die for me. I can't die for you. Can't die for me. Why are you worrying about what I got? Why are you worrying about how many kids I got? Why are you worried about me got two baby daddies? So what? Okay, why are you worried about me? You need to be worrying about you laying it low and spreading it wide. That's what you need to be worrying about. Mm-hmm. Because the same people that are trashing single mothers, they are doing that. I'm telling you. Okay? Fornication is what? Okay, the child was a result of fornication. Having sex out. Now, if you're gonna bash me for anything, then bash me for having sex outside of marriage. I'd rather for you to bash me about that than to bash me about being a single mother. Because that was the fornication was the result, or the children was the result of the fornication. Cause and effect. Literally cause and effect. Okay. If you're gonna bash me about anything, it should be about me having sex outside of marriage about 20 years ago. Okay. Okay. That would make more sense than you saying, um, bashing me about being a single mother. Okay. Doesn't make any sense. Well, anyway, with that being said, black women are the only race of women on the planet that get bashed for single mothers. You know, I watch the Kardashians. Really, to be realistic, reality of it is that I'm really not a huge fan. Really not a huge fan of the Kardashians. I'm really fascinated by their lifestyle. You know, I like to see how the other 1% lives. So that's how main reason why I like to watch them is because I'm very fascinated with their lifestyle. I love to look at their beautiful homes and stuff like that. You know, not that I'm a huge fan. I mean, Chloe is my favorite one out of all of them, but I'm not really a super huge fan of the Kardashians, to be perfectly honest. But I'm fascinated with their lifestyle. I like to see how the other 1% lives. And I was just thinking, I was watching them the other day, and I was thinking, you know what? Black men are always bashing black women for being single mothers, but they're silent when white women have children. I said that Courtney had 3 kids, and didn't had Ann wedding ring on her finger. Her first her Scott, her baby daddy. She had 3 kids by him. I said nobody. I said, boy, the black manosphere sure is silent. It sure is silent on that. I've never ever heard them say anything negative about Kourtney Kardashian. Had three kids, and wasn't married. Now, Sierra, on the other hand, on the flip side, Sierra had one child. She only had one child. They bashed her till the cows came home. They bashed her till the cows could. Kourtney Kardashian had 3 outside of marriage. Sierra only had one. They bashed her till the cows came home. Then they bashed Russell for marrying her. Yeah, they bashed Russell for marrying her, and they bashed her for having one kid. Used to be one child wasn't a problem. Wasn't it like that, ladies, back in the days? It's like one kid wasn't a problem. Nowadays, if a black woman even so much as have one child, it's a major issue. They bashed her. They bashed Sierra for having one freaking kid, and they bashed Russell for marrying her. Wasn't nothing wrong with him marrying her. She's a beautiful woman. She's got a lot going for herself. Ain't got no problem with the sister. But yeah, Sierra had one kid, and they bashed her till the cows came home. Kourtney has 3, completely silent. Even when white women have, there's a 92% out of wedlock rate. Black men impregnating white women and bouncing. Do they ever bash them? You never hear them coming on YouTube bashing white women for being single mothers. But black women are always getting bashed for being single parents. And it doesn't matter how we got that way. It could be a long-term relationship that just things didn't work out. You two grew apart. Things didn't work out. So you decide to go to your own separate ways, 1 or 2 kids down the road. It's life. It happens. Or it could be a failed marriage. She could have gotten married. He cheated or whatever situation and things didn't work out. They got a divorce. Or could it be some black mothers, single black single mothers are as a result of the father passed away, got killed in them streets, a lot of them got killed in the streets. Some of them are incarcerated. There's lots of different reasons why women are single mothers, but they always go to one thing. Always go to one thing. You was being a 3 year 3 what they call it 304. You was being a 304. You were being a thought. They always that's their go to. That's their go to. But it's interesting because it doesn't matter how the woman became the black woman. I'm talking about black women in particular because from where I sit, it seems like to me we're the only race of women that get bashed for being single mothers. It doesn't matter how she got that way. It could have been it was a relationship. The man left her. It don't matter. It don't matter. She gets bashed. She gets blamed. Because last time I checked, it takes two people to make a baby. It don't take two people to make a baby. That's the last time I checked. And it's interesting because I wonder how many of those pregnancies was a result of stephiling. Stephiling. I did a video on it. Stephiling, if I'm pronouncing that right. Men pulling the condom off right in the middle of the sex act. Wonder how many of those pregnancies was a result of that. Because sometimes y'all always talking about how women want to set up men, or sometimes men set women up. But the black manosphere is silent on that. They never have that conversation. See, they don't want to have that conversation. How men, a lot of times these men like to set the women up. Yeah. The men like to, I wonder how many of those pregnancies was the result of stephiling. The man taking the condom off right in the middle of the sex act. The woman winds up pregnant. He knows she's going to get blamed for it. See, it's not always a result of, this guy came out with this piece of trash, came out with this song bashing single mothers. You let him go in raw. Well, how do you know that? How do you know if that was always the case? It could have been if condoms are not used properly. If the condom is not used properly, a woman can get pregnant. If she's on birth control and the birth control method fails, she can get pregnant. It's not always as a result of letting a man go raw, as they say. Okay. I wonder how many pregnancies was as a result of a man taking the condom off right in the middle of the act. Because that's the way men set women up. That's the way they set women up. See, some men they purposely set out to get a woman pregnant for whatever reason, you know. But because they know she's going to get blamed for it. She's the one that's going to get blamed for it. If it's a such thing as reincarnation, I want to come back as not a black male. I want to come back as a white male. Yes. If it's a such thing as reincarnation, I want to come back as a white male because you guys are never held accountable for nothing. Okay? Y'all not held accountable for nothing. And white males really get away with stuff. Mm-hmm. White males. I want to be a white male in my next lifetime. Yeah. I have a whole lot of money. Mm-hmm. But anywho, I'm getting off my point. There's accountability. People have a problem with the manosphere. The black community has an issue with holding the men in our community accountable. It takes two people. I say it takes two irresponsible people to make a baby. That's what I say. Because if at least one of you was being responsible, there would be no baby. Am I right? It takes two irresponsible people to make a baby. Okay? Women do not get pregnant by themselves. Okay? We don't get that way by ourselves. They're always talking about the single mothers, always bashing the single mothers. But they never say anything about these fathers that are creating single mothers. And some of these same men that's trashing single mothers, they out here creating single mothers themselves. Some of the main ones that be talking, they be out here creating single mothers. But then have the audacity to talk about black women have the highest abortion rates. The jury's still out on that. Y'all talk about how we have the highest abortion rates. How does that work? How does you in one breath you're bashing us about being a single mother, but then you turn around and you bash black women for having abortions? How does that work? For having the highest abortion rates. Which one do you want? Do you want us to have the baby or do you want us to abort the baby? What about black men that like to tell black women to have abortions? If the father don't want nothing to do with it, have an abortion. First of all, abortion is being outlawed in a lot of states. A woman is not gonna be an option anymore. What about the black women that like to tell black women to murder black babies? But then you guys turn around and bash black women for being single mother. How does that work? How does that work? You bash us for the say you say the black women have the highest abortion rates, but then you turn around and bash black women for being single mothers. So those of us that chose to not run to the abortion clinic and we chose to give birth to the baby, we're trash. Make it make sense. And then they say, oh, black women don't like to take accountability. Hmm. But most of the children in the black community is being raised by black women. If that's not accountability, I don't know what is. I did a video talking about that a long time ago. We gave birth to the child. Okay. We carried the child for 9 months. We birthed the child. And then we took care of the child whether the father was there or not. Now, if that's not accountability, I don't know what is. Accountability and not taking accountability is running to the abortion clinic. Not taking accountability is putting the child off on somebody else to raise. That's not taking accountability. But that's taking accountability. We carry the child for 9 months. We have the child, and then we take care of the child once the child is here, whether the father's there or not. If that's not accountability, I don't know what is. And see, and that's what lots of single mothers are doing. My mother was a single mother. My father left my mother when I was 5 years old. My mother was married to my father for 10 years. Okay, 10 years. And she was a good wife to my father. Okay. My oldest sister remembers everything. She has great stories. She remembers everything. Because I don't, like I said, my father left at 5 and I don't remember him before that. You know. My mother was a housewife. Okay. They call them stay at home moms now, but back then they call it a housewife. Okay. Married to my father for 10 years. My father decided that he wanted to, not bashing my father, loved my father, I forgave my father, but it is what it is. Decided he wanted to play stepdaddy to someone else's kids. Literally. Okay. He left my mother, and before he married my mother, guess what? I got 2 other sisters out there. One of them I never even met. Well, one of them, I talked to her on the phone quite a few years ago. Um, I never technically met her either, but I know the other one. I literally have never met her. Okay, he had a whole nother family before he hooked up with my mother. Okay, and he stayed married to my mother for 10 years, bounced, and hooked up with somebody else, and decided to play daddy to someone else's kids. Okay, lots of black men do that. I know lots of black men do that. They create families all over the place. And then after they done created families in these other various places, and then they go play stepdaddy to someone else's kids that's not even theirs. It's lots of black men that do that. It's not popular for black men to do it now. Okay, it's not popular for them to do it now. But back in the day, lots of black men did that. Lots of them did that, and they had families all over the place. As I was in the court one time with my youngest son's dad, I love that judge because he was always taking my side. And he told my youngest son's dad was like, well, I got other cases. If my memory serves me correctly, it was so many years ago. He said something about he had other cases or something like that. And the judge asked him, well, if you had another family, then why did you why did you create another family? If you already had other kids, other families, or family of families, then why did you go and create another family? That's what the judge told my youngest son's dad in court. Yes. If I was ghetto, I'd be like, hey, man. Hmm. Good question. That was an excellent question for that judge. Why did you go out and create another family if you already had? See, that judge held him accountable. I love that judge. He held him accountable. Now he lectured. I one time I went to court. He lectured both of us. He lectured both of us, but he held him accountable. He showed that judge held him accountable. Mm-hmm. He said you already because he's crying about his other cases or whatever. Judge said, well, if you already had a other family or whatever, why did you go and create another one? He didn't have nothing to say about that. See, these black men go out and plant their seed all over the place. But the black manosphere never talks about that. They always want to put all the blame on the woman, the black woman. When the child don't turn out right, and all this stuff that's going on in the black communities all over this country, guess whose fault is it? Well, it's because of the single mothers ain't raising the kids right. You see anything wrong with that statement? The single mothers are not raising the kids right? In what world is a woman supposed to be raising children by herself? In what world? See, they don't even listen to themselves talk. And they don't realize how ignorant that is. They don't realize how ignorant of a statement that is. It sounds really ignorant. The single mothers are not raising the kids right. Are you serious? It is because they come from a single mother themselves. They was raised by a single mother themselves. So their mind ain't right. But that's when you have to go back to the Bible and read how it is supposed to be. No, women are supposed to have help raising their kids. Women are not supposed to be raising children by herself, particularly young black males. Children need their fathers, okay? And without a father, I just talked about that. Without a father, something is going to be lacking. It's going to be a whole lot that's going to be lacking. All this stuff that's going on in the community is a direct result of these young black males growing up without fathers. They're angry. They're angry because their father wasn't there. It's literally a direct result of it. Because guess what? Mama got to work. My sons got into mischief. Guess where I was at when they got into a lot of that mischief? I was working. I was at work. Because my oldest son got into some mischief. I was working night shift back in 2000. I want to say back in 2010. He was, I want to say he was already grown. He got into something. He might have been already grown when that happened. He got into something, and my son's father had to go pick him up from the other city. They got into it. My son denied it. He didn't want to tell me the truth. But my son's father snitched him out. He said, "Yeah, I had to go pick him up." Him and his friend. They went into the other city and got into some mischief while I was at work. But if my memory serves me correctly, I think he was already grown when he did that. But my son got into both of them. Both of them got into a lot of mischief. Guess where I was at? I was working. I was working. Yeah, I was working. I was at work. You know how you guys like to say we're lazy and we like to sit around and collect a welfare check? Well, no, I was actually punching a time clock and I was actually working. Then we get bashed for not being a good mother and raising good children because we were literally working. I mean, some mothers run the streets, but a lot of us are out here working. A lot of us are out here grinding. I worked and I went to school for many years. I went to college and I worked for many years. Then I was a Jehovah's Witness for many years. So I stayed busy. Between those three things, I stayed busy. And then um, being a single mom on top of that. Okay. It's a lot of work. Okay. A lot of single mothers are out here grinding. They grinding. They working. And particularly when young black males get to be in them teen years, you can't. I say I sometimes think teenagers need more supervision than young kids because they can get into more mischief. Once they get older, they can get into more mischief. A 5-year old is not gonna can't go out and do different things. Well, no child should be unsupervised, but I'm just saying that teenagers need more supervision. They need more supervision because, yeah, they get into mischief. Okay, and then the young black males, there's that street element. That's a whole nother video. There's that street element. No matter what you've instilled in them, there's that street element. Okay, it's that street element. Of course, that's going to be a whole nother video. Yes. So, do they need their fathers? Absolutely. They absolutely need their fathers. But the black manosphere never has these conversations unless they got some sense. They never have these conversations because they're whole this red this red pill thing. Maybe I should say red pill. All they want to do is bash single mothers. That's their whole narrative. They just want to bash single mothers. But they never talk about, okay, why fathers? What can we do? What about the black fathers and not how do we keep black fathers in the home? No. They never have those kind of conversations. How do we get black fathers more active in their children's life? Take more of an active role in raising their sons. Because I'm gonna do another video. Once a son turns, if you are a single father, I mean you ain't with the mama. Once your son turns 12 years old, you need to take custody of him. You need to take custody. I'm gonna make that a whole nother video. You need to take custody. Okay. Yes. How many black men are doing that? How many black men are taking custody of their 12-year-old sons? I'll wait. Not too many of them. So you guys sit there and consistently bash single mothers, black single mothers, all the because we only raise the women that get bashed, and then you wonder why. Then you want to. But that's I did a video talking about that, child-free women. Then you have the nerve to judge child-free women, and you wonder why they don't want to have any children. You wonder why child-free women don't want to have kids. That's one of the reasons why they don't want to have any kids. He says, I'm not going to become a single mother. This is one of the reasons why black child-free women don't want to have children. Reason why I know it's because I watched your content. That's one of the reasons they don't want to have any, because they know if by chance they become a single mother, because marriage is no guarantee, they know they're going to get trashed for being a single mother. Okay? That's the number one thing they know. That's one thing they do know. They know the stigma that comes along with being a black single mother. And they know how much the men in our community like to bash single mothers. But you don't want to say anything about the men that create single mothers. It's always one-sided. It's one-sided the whole time. And they say, well, you should do something to prevent it. Y'all should have did something to prevent it. That goes both ways. You don't want to be a father, then you need to put a condom on it. Or why are you having sex with women that you're not married to? Why are you having sex outside of marriage? Why are you having sex with women that you're not married to? Unprotected sex is that. If you don't want to be a father, then either get a vasectomy, don't have sex outside of marriage, or use a condom. Those are the options. Okay? But you guys want to get a woman pregnant, then you want to cry about child support. You want to sit here and put all the blame on her. Black men are the only race of men that do that. Other races of men don't do that. You see white men coming on YouTube crying about child support and sitting up there bashing white women for being single mothers. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any content. I've been on the YouTube for many years. I haven't seen any content about white men coming on here bashing white women for being single mothers. I haven't seen them yet. Even the ones that's single mothers via the black man. They still don't bash them. They still don't bash them. That's one thing I had the utmost respect for white men and other races of men. I had the utmost respect for them. They don't bash their women. They don't bash their women. They don't like to publicly bash and humiliate their women for no reason. For no reason. For being single mothers or whatever. For no reason. Black men are the only race of men that do that. They're the only race of men that like to bash their women for being single mothers. And then they're creating the single mothers. Don't want to hold the men accountable. That's creating the single mothers. We wouldn't be single mothers if somebody didn't help us. It takes a sperm to fertilize an egg. Well, you let them go raw. How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that? They love to assume a lot too when it comes to us. How do you know that? How do you know she let them go in raw? How do you know that? You better be glad that women's rights are still not where they're supposed to be. Because if they were, a lot of you guys would be sitting in jail for taking the condom off in the middle of the sex act. A lot of you guys would be sitting in jail for that. You better be glad that women's rights is not where they should be. Because if they were, a lot of you guys would be sitting in jail for that. Yeah, you would be. Because that's a violation. It's a violation. You don't have her permission to do it, it's a violation. I talked about that in a whole nother video. But it doesn't matter. You guys know it doesn't matter if a man's setting a woman up, if he purposely is setting out to get the woman pregnant, it doesn't matter because you know that 9 times out of 10 that woman is going to be blamed for the pregnancy anyway. She's going to be blamed for the pregnancy anyway. And you guys know that. So, you know, that's and a lot of them were raised by single mothers. They were raised by single mothers themselves. That's the whole irony. That's the irony is that they were raised by single mothers themselves. You out here bashing single mothers. You was raised by a single mother yourself. Your mama was a single mother. They don't like a lot of them don't like their mama. But why was your mama a single mother though? Examine that. Why was she a single mother? Did your father bounce? Did he see something else out there he wanted? and left her for another woman? Because that's what a lot of black men are doing. They're bouncing from one woman to the next. They see something else out there they want, they're out. They get bored, get tired of hitting the same vagina. hmm And they decide they want something new. They want some new vagina. And they go and get the new vagina. I know that's how you guys think. I know how you guys think. That's how you guys think. That's how y'all think, okay? Especially black men. That's how y'all think, okay? So before you open your mouth, before you fix your mouth and want to bash a single mother, first of all, think about the single mothers that you created. If you didn't create single mothers, think about all the men out here that are creating single mothers and what you got to say about them. Because it takes two, baby. It takes two at the end of the day. It takes two to have a baby, okay? For every single mother, that is a man that helped her get that way, okay? So think about that before next time before you fix your mouth and bash a single mother. How you doing? Okay, hit that like, subscribe, and share. Go ahead and hit that comment section. Like I said, don't say nothing about me being a single mother because I'm going to block you. Okay? I'm over it. I don't want to hear about it anymore. I'm going to block you. Okay? Be nice. Be nice. Hit that like, subscribe, and share, and that notification bell so every time I do a video, you'll be notified. Until the next video, you guys be blessed.